going, everybody? I'm Nick Major, APTV Los Angeles correspondent. Today, I'm out in Woodland Hills, California, where Stick to Your Guns are wrapping up their latest album. We've got the whole band here. So we've got Andrew, George, Josh, Jesse, and Chris. How you guys all doing?
Good, yeah, woo!
So you guys, you've been out here since the beginning of last month. You've been out here pretty much exactly a month, and the CD sounds like it's getting wrapped up. So how's the new CD going? Whoever wants to talk first. There's like a whole group around this. But you know what? How about you talk first?
Okay.
You want to do it, Jesse? All right.
Yeah, I'll do it. We'll start like this. The last 4 or 5 weeks for me personally have been great. I've been sleeping on Josh's floor, so my back feels like it's been twisted into a pretzel. Yeah, exactly. I go from his bed to the floor, much like a dog. And so that part's been a little bit rough, but the record itself has been going good, I would say. Yes. Better than good. It's for sure the best record we've done. Why is everyone laughing at me, man?
Everybody always says that.
Every band's like,
but it's true.
Fastest, best, catchiest.
All right,
It sounds good. It sounds like a cliche.
Here.
I legitimately believe that.
Here's the thing. Yeah, it is for sure, without a doubt, and I know everyone says it.
Without a doubt.
But you mean it this time.
Brutal
album to date.
It's not. Here, I'll say this: it's not as good as our next record because that one is going to be even better than this one.
I'll give you that.
Thank you. Skip this one, and the next one's going to be even better. But no, it's been a whole different experience working with John Feldmann. I don't know if.
Yes.
Have you ever met him?
I've never met him, but thank you.
Give me the mic.
Well, I've never met John Feldmann, but I think he's one of the best music producers ever. So I think that's awesome. You guys are working with him. Why did you guys decide to work with him? What are you guys trying to achieve?
Because he was the first one that said yes. That's really the truth.
Yeah, I think also. I mean, we had talked for like forever about doing a record. About us saying we want to go into the studio with John. That's something we've always wanted to do. We didn't think we were ever going to be able to do it, but we did. Even because like 2 records ago. Yeah, yes. Exactly.
You were wrong.
We were
wrong.
So he said yes, and now we're here and we're doing it, and it's been done, I guess. Now it's only mixing and all that kind of.
So that's all that's
other
left.
shit, yeah. And it's been the most. It's for sure the most insane experience of my entire life. I can tell you this. Let's get honest. Let's get down to brass tacks right now. We're gonna get real right now. Yeah. The first day we came here.
This is a true story.
It's true.
I know what he's gonna say.
First day we came here, I walked in. I was very skeptical about the whole thing. And I'll say within 45 minutes, I fucking hated it. I was like, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. I hate this. I don't want to work with this dude. I don't want to work at the studio. We have to go somewhere else. And I think John sensed that. He really did sense it because the next day he took me out to breakfast and we kind of talked it out. And he was like, look, there's a thing that I do, as you can see from behind you. There's this. He collects records. There's this thing that I do, and he said word for word, I feel like I would be cheating you out of an opportunity if we didn't at least try it my way. So he said, yeah, and try to do something different, something that you guys don't necessarily do, and because that's the part that was uncomfortable for me. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to come in and do a record how I always do a record. But then I guess you would have just been the record that people would have gotten would have just been the same generic, boring 6 Year Ends record. It would have been, people probably would have liked it, but it would have been safe. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's not really ever what we want to do. We don't want to just play it safe. We want to try to do something different. Because we change, we grow, we change. Us personally, so I think it's only natural the band's going to change with us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So after that talk that we had, he said, just give me 110%, do it my way, and if you don't like it, then we'll do it your way. And it turns out his way is right.
He actually knew what he was doing.
Exactly. Turned out his way was fantastic.
The first day was insane. Like I feel like every emotion that you could experience over the span of every emotion that you could experience. Including suicide, happiness, like everything, horniness, like everything, like it was all packed into one day. And I feel like what was crazy is if we would have, it got to the point where we were about to leave, and then he really pushed us like, no, just work on this one more song, and then that song ended up being like I think collectively one of our favorite songs on the record. And then we're driving home and we're like, this is so awesome. Bam, wreck the car. And so that sucked, but that was day one.
So take us back to that. With the car, you crashed your car?
Yeah, on the 405. I bought a brand new car. I bought a brand new car. 3 weeks later, we're fucking leaving the studio. We're all screaming, like excited about what we had actually accomplished on this first day. Still very confused whether or not we like this process or not. But we're all like really happy. And then all of a sudden we cover this hump, and I go, "Oh my god!" And there's like this fucking 30-foot long fucking pipe hose thing laying on the road, like a construction worker or something left. I tried to dodge it. I have no clue how. We did not crash into anybody else. Chris swears we went airborne because we hit it, and then we pulled over. I thought the tires were popped. They weren't, and we're like, "Oh, fucking sick! This is awesome."
Let's get back in and listen to our music again.
This old man comes running down the 405 like, he has no tire. He's fucking screaming. We have no clue what's going on. I just finally realized I don't have to talk to him, so I just leave. And then when we get home, I pull into my garage. I realize that the steering wheel's like this, but the tires are like this. So we broke the front suspension.
You need an alignment.
No, we broke.
You need a whole new-
Yeah. I actually had to do like an insurance claim, like all that shit.
It was worth it.
So that was day one.
I'm sick and tired of all this giving up. All I hear is talking about enough. Single-minded, overwhelmingly one-sided.
Lyrically for this album, you never stay away from just kind of being blunt and being honest about what you want to write about topics that most people might stay away from. What are some stuff that you're touching on in this CD that you think is stuff that people need to be talking about, stuff that people need to know about?
Well, I mean, I think. Do you want to hold that, or I'll hold it? Do you? Okay, we'll both hold it. There we go. That's how it's. There we go. I think from I mean, I like to throw things in there that are certain issues that I think people should, I guess, know about. But at the end of the day, that's just, I mean, in my own opinion. But I think most of what Stick to Your Guns is, it's very self-reflective. It's very I think the whole theme of this record is to understand the world. You have to understand yourself, because what we like to do, I feel like, as people, is point fingers. That's really all anyone really likes to do about anything ever. You know what I mean? Everything is everyone else's fault. No one wants to look at themselves and realize, hey, maybe this sucks because I'm contributing to the horribleness that is whatever that thing may be. So I feel like that's where people really need to start. If you can't help yourself, if you can't, realize that you're a part of this ever-growing problem that is the earth and the world and the society that we live in, then you're not going to be able to change anything, because constantly trying to ban this, ban that, these people can't do this, you can't say that, blah, blah, pointing the finger, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem, just creates a bigger problem. So I feel like this record, I would say lyrically it's I don't want to say it's no different, but I dig deeper. You know what I mean? With every record, musically we push ourselves harder. Lyrically, I pushed myself harder, and I really want to kind of like I said before, if I really do want to understand the world. I do want to. It's something that I'm never going to be able to do because it's so complex. It's the gray area, right, boys? Right. Everything is gray. There is no black and white, or so we like to say. So it's trying to maybe figure out a pattern in that gray area, maybe that you can be like, oh, okay, maybe we're all connected. Maybe if I do something to help change something, then that's what I can get out of my own life. So and I feel like that's more or less what the record is about. In the very first song that opens the record, the theme of that whole song is it starts with me. You know what I mean? It's all of it, everything starts with me. And not in a selfish way, not in a like, oh, me first. More of like,
no, but you got to know yourself before you can.
Exactly.
Really
to understand the world, you have to understand yourself. Or so I like to think.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree. And what about instrumentally?
Because if you didn't agree, they're a fucking problem.
I'm glad I'm safe. What about instrumentally? How is this different? Can the fans expect something a bit different? Is it? I'm sure that we're still going to have all the chants that we love, the breakdowns we love, the screaming, the singing, which I guess that's vocally more than instrumentally. But who wants to take over and talk a little bit about instrumentally, kind of what's new on this album or what we can expect?
Here's George.
Yeah. Hi. Well, I would like to talk about my first day in the studio, because this has to do instrumentally. Because we were kind of working on a song, and like John was, okay, let's slap some drums onto it. I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. I'm set up in there, so I'm good to go. He's like, no, it's a really rough thing. We'll just you just tap on a keyboard. All right. Okay. He's like, yeah, it's just demo. I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. We demo out songs, so this is like a really quick thing. And But then got to the point where he's like, yeah, we need a snare roll. I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do about that? And he's like, yeah, just one key, just one key. Just do this, one key. Yeah, so that was my first day. So that was what I did differently, instrumentally, on this record. I tracked everything on one key. No, I don't know. Working with John, he's like the Flash, but he's also kind of like the Psycho Pirate. So you got that amalgam of characters. And so I did all of the drums in one day. Actually, I did 5 of the songs one day, and then he came back and said, actually, you're going to redo those 5 songs. Not because he played them bad, but because I have a better way to record this.
You also did them like in 5 hours.
In 5 hours. So I did 12 songs. Everything you're listening to on that record was done in the span of 5 hours. So that was insane for me. And it was also like a thing where it'd just be like, play better. Okay, I'll play better. You got it, buddy. So that's what was different instrumentally for me. I tried to hit the drums really hard, and I think I did it. So, yeah. Andrew put in some bass slides.
I did. Yeah, the bass sounds great, I think. Sounds super awesome. So tons of slap all over the record. It's a little advanced, but we'll see.
I think another thing was most bands, and I don't think that this band is any different. Typically when we go in the studio, it's like you have most of the record done. You know, maybe you don't have like some vocals done or whatever, but the songs are all done. And we came in here with 18 songs, like ready to go. Like, all right, yeah, we can track these 18 songs. And then he's like, okay, cool. Well, let me hear the lyrics and the vocal stuff for it. And Jesse's like, well, I typically do that, you know, like week 2, like, you know, while you guys are working on stuff. And then he's like, okay, well, until he has something for me to listen to, the rest of you guys come in this room with me, and I'm just gonna like sing something to you, and then I just want you to write a song. And then so Chris and I are sitting there with the guitars in our hands, and he just like goes blah 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 blah, and then he's like, okay, he goes, it can be anything, and we're so confused, like, what do you mean it could be anything? And then he's like, just go. And we're like, what do you mean? He's like, go, write a chorus. And we're like, and then, you know, and we start messing something around, and it's like, we haven't even got it figured out yet. And he goes, yeah, that's it. Okay, track it, record it. And we're like, what? And he's like, yeah, track that, record that. And we're like, I don't even know what I just did. Yeah, just do it. And then the same thing, a verse, shoot out a verse. And then all of a sudden there's 3 songs on this record that we did like that.
Knew that.
Yeah, that didn't exist, and we're not even sure how they do exist. But they're awesome. They're awesome songs. So I think that's something that was like really out of the box for us, as far as when it comes to like instrumentally. Mm-hmm. But you know, I think that this record is all over the place without it being all over the place, if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
It's just, it still sounds like Stick to Your Guns, but we go into some, you know, we go into the fucking darkest zones here, and, you know, and there's some stuff that was pulled out of our asses that is, you know, pretty sweet.
So you guys said you came down here with 18 songs?
Yeah.
Is that, so do you guys, how do you typically write? Is there something do you write on the road, or do you just write in your downtime, or a mix of both? And yeah, and then
Sometimes we have writing sabbaticals. I like to call them
writing sabbaticals. Yeah. And how do you guys, is it hard at all to choose which ones you want to end up cutting? Are there some that you have to end up, do you save them for later, where you pick them apart and bring them into stuff you end up using? Or
I think on this one, it was like we all like these 18 songs for the most part, at least to give it a good chance to like record them. And then when we got here, especially when Jesse did vocals to some of them, we picked like, I think 14, is that what we ended up doing? And then, 3 of which we wrote here. So we chopped a lot of the ones that we came in with off the block. But then once Jesse like started doing vocal stuff, once we heard the songs completed, it was easy for us to go, okay, that song's not as good as these 5. So it was kind of easy to get rid of. We haven't like had to stress out over what songs are going to go on the actual record.
Mm-hmm. So with Diamond and with the Hope Division, you guys got these logos that everybody seems to love. Like, I got to say, you guys have like 2 million new pictures a day of someone who gets a tattoo of either the heart or the diamond. So you got some pretty high standards. Is there going to be a new logo coming out with this one that the fans can tattoo all over their faces and all over their whatever else they choose to do?
Oh, no. We're not going to announce it. I can say there is a new one. It will be announced soon, I would imagine, sometime.
Don't you want to debut it right now for everybody to see?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
This year.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a new logo. I'm sure you could. It's gonna be one of those things where you see it and you're gonna go, "Oh yeah, that makes sense for sure." I think in my opinion. And actually, little trivia for those who know, we actually had this logo on a piece of merch years ago.
Start digging up that merch.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it just kind of went right over everyone's head, and no one really realized it. But yeah, so the logo is all picked out and
there
ready
is
to
one.
go. Yes, there is one.
There's going to be a new one for the fans to cover themselves with to do all that good stuff.
The words